The European Training Foundation and the Kingdom of Jordan are going to transform the country's vocational training system together. Today, Jordan's vocational training still has a very traditional image. For the young apprentices, the day starts with a solemn ceremony, including the oath of allegiance, the national anthem, a speech, and some limbering up exercises. Modernity in the form of the internet and innovative audio-visual training methods are going to change vocational training here. It's upgrading its image that's going to be the tough task. In the Marka Vocational Training Centre, a poor neighbourhood in the north of the Jordanian capital, Amman, e-learning is being launched. A film demonstrates best practice for apprentices to five-star hotel level and is put online to be consulted by other training centres all over Jordan.
Most of the students here who get training will get a job afterwards. Even while having their training here, they have already a good chance of a good job. We have 700 students and they get a job immediately after having finished their training.
And that's the point, to match training offers with market demands. In the past, this was not always the case. Manual work in Jordan often had a bad image. The European Training Foundation's Jordanian country manager tells Euronews. Too many families pushed their children into higher education schemes. Manual jobs were looked down on.
Until now, vocational training was always considered a second or even last chance by families. Today, with the labour market demanding higher qualifications and a higher level of education, vocational training is on a par with academic qualifications, and families are understanding this.
There is another problem. Some families place their children into informal training schemes with no diploma at the end. Getting coached by a friend of a friend does not guarantee the best training possible. The key question is how to make professional training more attractive.
The big problem in Jordan's labour market is youth employment and the qualifications we can offer them. One solution we're investigating today is developing a standard national qualification recognised everywhere that allows everyone to know where they stand in this occupational jungle. But for this to work, we will have to work with absolutely everyone, with the social services, employers, educators, decision makers and government.
The Jordanian vocational training system is in the midst of a phase of reorganisation. The challenge is how to ensure high quality. Modernisation involves updating the teaching curriculum and training methods. First of all, training of the trainers is needed. The European Union, through the European Training Foundation, supports this reform. Jordan's not a petro-monarchy, and apart from potash and phosphate, has few natural resources to exploit. The future of Jordan lies in human resources, knowledge, know-how, and in the future development of the hotel and tourism business, says this apprentice cook.
Before I decided what I wanted to do with my life, I studied what my country, Jordan, needs in the labour market. The tourism and hotel branch has a strong demand for labour. There are 20,000 jobs that will be created during the upcoming years.
Head north from Amman towards the north of the kingdom in the direction of Jerash. It's gone midday, and the whole team starts to get pretty hungry. But luckily, this road takes us to a place where there's some tasty homemade food. Mansaf is a very popular dish in the region, made of yogurt, rice, meat and grilled almonds. Mansaf is the star of Mother's Kitchen, a start-up caterer invented, run and managed by women from this poor neighbourhood. The concept is cooking and delivering on demand for schools, companies, administrations or individuals. Mother's Kitchen has 24 members working in teams of 6. They cook either at home or go to the local training centre co-managed by the European Training Foundation and the Jordanian Hashemite Fund for Human Development.
The community here in Jerash is a little bit reserved and somewhat conservative. That means opening a cooking business for us women isn't easy to manage. I can't cook on my own for other people not related to my family. I'd feel embarrassed here in Jerash, and my family as well. But thanks to this cooperative project, now I can cook for others. I can use my cooking skills. And through this project, we've broken the embarrassing limits that are imposed on us women by the community itself.
Through this training, which I got through the European Training Foundation, I learnt how to set up my own project and how to deal with food and finances. I learnt how to develop the right marketing strategy and promote my own products.
Before, I was always at home doing nothing, but then I decided to join this project to share my experience and to learn from others as well, and to have a supplementary income.
Thanks to the project, for the first time in my life, I have my own income. I can even lend some of the money I earned by myself to my brothers and sisters. That's a great feeling, that I'm able to help someone with my own money instead of depending on relatives giving money to me. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Further northwest, we cut through one of the rare forests in Jordan, swathes of pine and pistachio, oak and olive trees. The Ajloun Nature Reserve is managed by the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature. Near Ajloun, we have an appointment in the soap house, where 7 local women hand-make natural olive oil soaps. Having received 6 months' training in Amman, the women are creating their own soaps, from antioxidant-rich pomegranate bars to mint soaps with toning properties. The small-scale project's co-funded by the EU and so far is working out quite well. The soap team has plans to hire another team of 7 women, double production, and to conquer markets in the EU. But to do that, there's a real bureaucratic obstacle: the EU's packaging legislation.
We have very high criteria, especially for packaging. So we have to know what are the main characteristics for packaging the soap before we are going to export.
The 1,000-year-old olive tree stands for traditions. They're strong and mighty. Setting up a business employing women working outside their family homes needed a lot of diplomacy, debating and convincing.
The agricultural communities here, they are so conservative, but according to our participatory surveys and participatory meetings with their parents, their husbands, they change their mind.
The European Commission has earmarked €43 million to support technical and vocational educational reform in Jordan between now and 2012. But reforms are not about money alone. The most important input comes from Jordan itself. Reforming its labour laws and exams system for vocational training are steps in the right direction.